how will we stay on panel?
The first thing that was decided amongst this group of experts was there would be billions of devices on the internet and always on and always connected. Now you can think about, in the end of the year 2007, we crossed the threshold of having over 1 billion devices connected to the internet. Think of where we're going to be in the next 2 years, where it's estimated that that number is going to be going. Mobile devices everywhere, devices in our kitchens and our homes that are basically connected to the internet. They give us the ability to do things that we never thought of before. But also the key point, they need to be protected, they need to be secured. The second point that was brought up during this discussion, where we're going to be now, is virtual businesses. And the complexity of outsourcing relationships in the business world, what we see today is we no longer have one-on-one relationships. We no longer have one-to-many. We have many-to-many relationships, just like the networks that we've created today that we need to secure and protect privacies and civil liberties on. The other thing that was brought up was something we call rules of the game. And this is really interesting when you start looking at the government's role in this whole world of cyberspace security. So there was a concern that there was going to be government regulations that were going to increase, that in some cases would do a better job about protecting privacy and civil liberties and making security increased. On the other side, it was concerned how it would be in a situation where governments now create such an environment that we no longer have the ability to innovate. I can't conceive of for a moment, if we were to have an international incident in cybersecurity, that the chief executive officers, the COOs, the CISOs, the CIOs of the nation's greatest companies would sort of sit back and say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. That's not true. We've seen the leadership in this room. Some of them are sponsors of this event. They know, they prepare, they practice, and more importantly, they recognize that the resilience that we need as citizens also is good for business. There's a business imperative to make sure that these systems keep up and running. There's a national security interest and a public safety interest. So as we look at the past year, let's also focus on the accomplishments that have been made. The things that private sectors have done, the things that governments have done, the things that you as citizens have done. And as we launch this sort of 1-year anniversary and we see what's going forward, also look forward to what are the things we're going to do in the future. It's not a lot of work to understand that we all can make a difference in our part. We can do 1 to 3 things over the next 6 months to make cybersecurity better. We've got a lot of ideas, a lot of smart people in this room that have the intellectual capacity to identify what are the things you can do to help your part of cyberspace. I look forward to learning more about that in the months ahead. Thank you very much.
And is a member of a number of important international organizations and committees specializing in financial and global economic issues. So, Jerry, welcome.
My organization, Deloitte, is actively engaged in shaping the discourse around cybersecurity on a number of levels throughout the world. Lieutenant General Harry Radke, whom some of you have already met, spearheads many of our initiatives as the chairman of the Deloitte Center for Cyber Innovation. This morning, I will add a few thoughts to our collective conversation, speak about the global enterprise role in cybersecurity, and look at that role from 3 different perspectives. Where does the international business community stand relative to cybersecurity as a risk? What is the unique relevance of that risk to the global enterprise? And most importantly, what kind of integrated response to that risk is warranted, if not demanded?